generation of not being in love and not being together.
Hey, I can't do that for you no more. Sorry, like I can't. Hey guys, so welcome back to another video. Today we're talking about stop chasing people who already decided to lose you. I feel like this is a really serious topic for a lot of people, especially for me, because I used to be one of those people who would chase people even though they wanted to leave me already. So I'm going to talk about it. I do have some Bible verses. I have about 10, I want to say. But let's get into it. So the first Bible verse I have is Proverbs 4:23, which says, "Guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life." And the point for that is like to protect your heart instead of constantly chasing people who don't value it, because there's so many people, I'm not saying everyone, but there's people who don't value other people's hearts. Like, you could be the sweetest person, the kindest person, give your love to everybody, but there will always be that one person who doesn't value it. They'll just be like, oh, it's nothing, I can just play around, mess with her, mess with him, mess with them for a little bit, and then I'll just go on with my life. There are so many people who have that mindset that they think, oh, they can just do this and that and not value that person's heart or that person's feelings, which is something that is like really big in this generation of people. And it's just like, how can you not consider somebody else's feelings or consider their heart even? So that's the first verse that I have. The second verse that I have is Matthew 10:14, which says, "If any household or town refuses to welcome you or listen to your message, shake its dust from your feet as you leave." Which the point for that is basically Jesus had taught his disciples that it's okay to walk away when people reject what you're bringing, which is something we should take into. It's okay to walk away when people reject something you're bringing. Like, for example, let's do this. For example, if you're bringing someone, a cup of tea, we'll say it as that, a cup of tea, which the tea has, your love, your affection, your care for this person, showing them what boundaries look like, a healthy relationship, all of that, just the good stuff. And you're bringing this person a cup of tea, and you're like, oh, do you want a cup of tea? I can make it for you. And they say, no, I don't want a cup of tea. What? Okay, then I just won't offer you it anymore. How about that? That's basically what it is. Like, when someone rejects what you're bringing to them, just walk away. Like, if you're always, bringing this person a cup of tea and they don't want it, and they're showing you they don't want it, don't offer it. Just walk away. That's basically what it is. Just walk away. I know it's not simple, because even for me, I was in that stage once, where I couldn't walk away unless the person, wanted the cup of tea. Like, I would have to, kind of force it onto them a little bit, that I'm doing all of this and they don't want it. But I eventually learned to just walk away from it. And that's something we all should know, to walk away from stuff when people reject it. The next verse is Romans 12:18, which says, "Do all that you can to live in peace with everyone." And the point for this is, you've already done your part. You can't force someone else to choose the relationship. So, meaning, you've done your part. You showed this person, all that you can do for them. Show your affection, care for them, love them, just be genuine with them. But if the person is like, for example, if the person's like, "Oh, you showed me everything you've done, but I just don't want this." Like I just said in my other point, walk away from it. Because truly, you cannot force someone. You can't force someone to choose you. Like, for example, if you told somebody, "Oh, do you want $1 or do you want $1,000,000?" What do you think they're gonna pick? The $1,000,000. So you can't force like somebody to choose you. If they want to go, choose somebody else or choose themselves, let them, because there's always going to be someone out there who loves you for you. And if it's not a person, then it's God. So then the next verse that I'm gonna read is 2 Timothy 2:22, which says, "Run from anything that stimulates useful lust. Instead, pursue righteousness, living, faithfulness, love, and peace. Enjoy the companionship of those who call on the Lord with pure hearts." And the point I have for this is to chase God in healthy relationships, not people who don't procrastinate. It basically says it there. Like, if somebody, like, okay, for example, first, like, if you're talking to somebody and they tell you, well, it wouldn't really be talking in this situation, but if you're thinking like, "Oh, I'm gonna talk to this person and get to know them or whatever," but they tell you, they're like, "Hey, I don't really want anything serious. I just want something casual. I don't see us getting into a relationship. I just want to, hook up, do this and that." Oh no. Baby, just hit the block button at that point, because what? I would have been like, "I beg your pardon? What did you just say to me?" Because if you're telling, some people, they just say it. They come out and say it. Like, if you're like, "Oh, so what are we?" And they're like, "Nothing, just casual." Oh no. Get on my face. Because I personally cannot do casual. If I like somebody, if I think they look good, they're nice, whatever, I love their personality, and they hit me with the, "I just want casual." Huh? I'm gonna look at them like they're crazy, because what? But you would know if somebody wants casual. Like, if they don't, text you and all of that. I talked about this in my last video. If they're not showing you effort, if they don't text you, check up on you, all that, girl, they just want casual. And I mean, there's some people who will come out and just say it, which I've dealt with before. If I met somebody new and text them or whatever, sometimes they would ask like, "Oh, so are you looking for something serious?" And I'll be like clutch my pearls moment, because what? Like, it's like they'll be like, "You looking for something casual or something serious?" And I'll be like, "Something serious, because what do I look like? I don't got time to play." And as soon as they tell me, "Oh, I just want to," ooh, block. I'm not even gonna let you finish what you're saying, because what? I'm not gonna let you finish that sentence. Then the next Bible verse I have is 1 Corinthians 15:33, which says, "Do not be fooled by those who say such things, for bad company corrupts good character." And my point for this is, some relationships pull you away from who God wants you to be. which, girl, I just talked about that like a second ago. Um, but no, this doesn't come with just, you know, like romantic relationships. Oh, my legs hurting. My knees hurting. It doesn't come with just like romantic relationships. This can come with friends too, and family members, which I think everybody goes through. Oh, my knee. I think it happens to everybody. Um, but it's not just romantic relationships. It's also like, you know, friends, you know, family, even, you know, acquaintances. It's not just romantic relationships, because it truly does happen. You know, some people can pull you away from who God really wants you to be. Like I said, you know, if you're talking to somebody and they say they just want casual, that can pull you away. So like, girl, if you see something that's not right, just walk away. Just go ahead and get out of there, because that's not it. And like, it's really a lot of people who are like that. You know, there's people who will make you think, you know, what you're doing is a bad thing, but it's really not. Like, some people will try to guilt trip you, manipulate you. You know, for example, some family members will be like, oh, I'm your family, why are you cutting me off, this and that. Clutch my pearls, because what? Like, it doesn't matter if that person is, you know, pulling you away from something, especially from God, then oh no. Yeah, go ahead and get out my face with that. Okay, the next verse is in Isaiah, which is 43:18 through 9, which says, but forget all that, it is nothing compared to what I'm going to do for you, for I am about to do something new. See, I have already begun. Do you not see it? I will make a pathway through the wilderness. I will create rivers in the dry wasteland. Which, my point for this is, sometimes God asks you to let go because he's making room for something new. Girl, that one hit me, because I struggled with that a lot. Like, it's not even funny. This can be for anything. This can be for relationships, for habits you have. Like, it can really be for anything that's just not good for you. And for me, it was a relationship that, you know, I was seeing so many signs. Y'all, I'm getting vulnerable. That I was seeing, you know, I wasn't seeing the signs because I was too blind by love. If y'all ever heard that before, you know, you're too blinded by love, rose-colored glasses. That I was too blind to see that I was getting hurt. And, you know, like, on and off, being on and off, you know, arguing, you know, not treating me right. That's one of the signs I didn't see, because like, the person I was on and off with, you know, it was God telling me like, hey, it's time to let go. Because if you let go, I'm gonna bring something new. I'm making space, and that person is ruining the space. So yeah, if you see that something is, you know, leaving your life, or somebody's leaving your life, don't chase them. Just let it go, because God is making room for something much better and something new. Then the next verse I have is Philippians 3:13 through 14. Oh my gosh, holy stutter. Which says, for I can do everything through Christ who gives me strength. Even so, you have done well to share with me in my present difficulty. That's a famous Bible verse. I think everybody knows that verse. And my point for this is, don't spend your life chasing what's behind you. Girl, don't, like, girl, do that. Like, just don't look back. Cause soon as you look back, like, you go like that. As soon as you look back, you're blind. You're blinded by it. Y'all seen Bird Box? Y'all gonna be like Bird Box. Like, cause once you look behind you, you know, your past, whatever, you can't chase that. Like, you can't be like, oh, you're not gonna do it. You're like, oh, hold on, let me do a U-turn and go back to that. Because, girl, that person, that past, it's doing nothing for you. You have to just look forward, because there's so many bigger plans for you in the future that you don't even know yet. So once you turn around, girl, go ahead and just do another turn and go forward. Because then the next verse is Psalms 147 3. And it says, he heals the brokenhearted and bandages their wounds. That's another favorite verse I have. And the point for this is, let God heal what you're tempted to chase. That speaks for itself. And you know, this is for anything. Like I said, it's for anything. I always say that it's for anything. If a person you want, you know, if they left your life, let God heal them. Because there's some things that people go through and we don't know it, because some people are just too afraid to speak out about it, and we don't even know that. So if somebody leaves your life for a reason, think of it as that God's healing them, that you couldn't heal, that they couldn't heal themselves. And you know, habits too, you know, if you have habits and you know you're letting it go for a reason, God's healing that and even healing you as a person. Now the second to last verse, this is the 9th verse, is Jeremiah 29:11. I was talking about this verse in my last video too, which is, for I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. They are plans for good and not for disaster, to give you a future and a hope. And my point for this is, God's plan isn't dependable on one person staying in your life. That speaks for itself. Just because one person is leaving your life doesn't mean that God's plan is switching up. Like, God isn't thinking like, oh my gosh, like this person left, now I have to, you know, rearrange all of my plans I had for this person. No, he's like, your purpose is not to be with that person if they're leaving you. And he's like, your plans are staying the same and even bigger, if anything, that they're getting more bigger just by that person leaving your life. So his plan isn't dependable on just one person, which I love it because it says a lot. Okay, so the last verse I have is Isaiah 54:17, and it says, in that coming day, no weapon turned against you will succeed. You will silence every voice raised up to accuse you. These benefits are enjoyed by the servants of the Lord. Their vindication will come from me. I, the Lord, have spoken. And my point for this is, someone walking away cannot cancel God's purpose for your life. That's what it says. Just because somebody's walking away from your life doesn't cancel the plan God has for you. And like I said, it might even make bigger plans. Because just because somebody's walking away, especially a toxic person, if they're walking away from your life, God is like, ooh, God's like, yay, finally. God is getting happy. He's like, ooh, like he is throwing a party. He's throwing a party up in heaven because of that. he's like, yes, thank myself. Like, he's throwing a party because of that. And he's like, I did that. He's like, I did that. So basically, someone walking away from your life, God's not gonna cancel your plans. He's not gonna call you up and be like, hey, I can't do that for you no more. Sorry, like I can't go. I have to cancel. He's not gonna do that for you. He's not gonna do that at all. He's just gonna be like, yeah, he gonna be like, yeah. He gonna be like that. He's like, yes, now you got even bigger plans. Like, your plans just expanded out. And I love that, because I mean, it's happened for me. Just because someone has walked out of my life, my life has been so much better. There's been, so much joy for me. I've met some really amazing people, and even getting my spark back with God. And just because that one person walked out of my life, it's made me so much involved in my own life. I still have my days where I don't feel like doing anything and whatever, but my spark has just came back so much just because of that one situation. And guys, before I end the video, I do have a message for you guys. If you guys were wondering why I was like looking to the side the whole time, or like looking down, is because I wrote down like the points so I didn't forget them. And I was reading the Bible too. So if I'm like looking down on this part, it's because I have it written out, because I knew I was gonna forget. But the message I have for you guys is, sometimes the person you're chasing is the very person God is asking you to release. If someone has decided to leave your life, don't spend your days trying to convince them to stay. God never asks you to beg for love. He asks you to trust him. The right person won't have to be forced. They will walk with you willingly, and so will God. That is the message I had for you guys. Which, like, it's true. The right person will, oh, my eyebrows itching. The right person, you won't have to force them to, be with you or walk with you. The right person, will do it with you. Like, it'll be like a walk in the park. Basically, y'all may have y'all ups and downs, but it's still gonna feel like a walk in the park. Like, when y'all when y'all walking, I don't even know why I'm laughing. When y'all walking and then you start jogging and you start feeling a little out of breath, it's getting hot, and then you start running, girl, and you're like, oh, I can't do this no more. Which, girl, that's how I am. When them PE teachers, they be timing us and be making us run around the track, that's how I be feeling. I be like, oh, I can't do this no more. That's what it's gonna feel like, girl. Like, that's what it's gonna feel like if it's not with the right person. But if it's with the right person, then it'll be like you're walking in the park, or not even, you're just laying down on your phone, doing nothing. That's what it'll feel like. But that's all for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video just as much as I did. And until next time, bye, y'all.
Well, I'm a city girl's at North Miami, where it all goes down. Heard it, no pity where you at, and your dad don't know that you're so well off.